everybody, it's that college football guy here with another video. Yeah, I'm driving. Been a bit under the weather the last few days. What I thought was originally food poisoning ended up being a little bit of a case of the flu. It beat me up, beat the family up. Apparently they were sick with it, didn't know about it. I caught it. No, just kidding. Somebody driving slow in front of you. Safe and go around them. But yeah, I just got sick. Family's sick. So it's been a rough few days, but back at it and back here. Now, I've been guilty of doing the videos about, I've speculated about what conference realignment's going to be. I'm not, or my take conference craziness. I've done this. This isn't a surprise here. But every single model I've seen that everybody else is putting out, it says one thing. Notre Dame to the Big Ten. And then a lot of them are putting out the idea that 8 members of the ACC are going to voluntarily leave the conference to go to the American. What are you smoking? And I say Notre Dame has to go to the Big. No, they don't. I hate to break this to you. It's not what the hell you want or everybody in the media wants, what I want. There's one thing that, now they're be competitive in money. Well, if you saw their deal they're getting from NBC, Notre Dame's not exactly hurting for cash. They're making more money than the Big 12 and the ACC are making, and they're a little bit under the SEC and consequently the Big 10. So they're not hurting. They want to be competitive and have access to the college football playoff. Why have they not joined the Big? Everybody said there's the bad blood. This is, well, I'm going to bring up some shade here, and I'm going to bring up some bad things, but simple the fact of the matter is this. All the headlines in the media the last few years involving anything involving a lot of criminal behavior. Somebody decides to cut me off. And criminal behavior in terms of inappropriate conduct with men and women. Jerry Sandusky. Now we have Pat Fitzgerald. Is any of this stuff going on in place anywhere besides the Big Ten? And Notre Dame doesn't like anything ruining their reputation. You think they'd want to link up with somebody like that until they got their stuff straightened out? You really think so? And the point of them leaving on their, well, the ESPN's going to make it happen. Actually, no. ESPN doesn't want the ACC to fall apart. ESPN knows some schools are going to leave and they want to keep it at a reduced rate. The conference that I think they want to go, and I made a video about it, is the American. Because they're not worth $7 million. And the fact is, as we found out for the Pac-12's demise, if you have 8 universities in your conference, you can basically keep your conference in your autonomous status if you're an autonomous conference. Well, if they lose the 8 or even up to 10 universities they have, guess what? They'll still have 8. In fact, they'll have 9, or they have 8, these 8 universities, they'll have 9 and 10. 9 for football, 10 counting Notre Dame. So they're going to have their universities there. They're going to be fine. And then everybody says the fact the ACC won't have any value. Cal and Stanford are going to leave and go back. Cal and Stanford, here's the truth. Cal and Stanford did not leave. For people inside there told me, they didn't leave the Pac-12 or the Pac-2 or the Pac-4 at that point because of money. They left because of academics. Because Oregon State and Washington State are not AAU, and all the AAU members left. They're not getting in the Big Ten. So what's the conference that has AAU members? The ACC. And even with all those schools gone, there's still going to be AAU members there. So they're still going to have that avenue. Stanford and Cal won't leave. I don't think so. Because the fact is that here's the question I want you to answer me. All of you think the ACC is going to fall apart. I've heard that the schools going to the AC, going according to multiple people on Twitter, X, that are going to be leaving disbanding the ACC voluntarily, dissolving the conference, or whatever, in order to go. And they're going to go to the American. What is, okay, so you have what? They didn't even have Stanford and Cal in it, but throw Stanford, Cal, SMU, Wake Forest, Duke, Syracuse. Maybe Syracuse was in some and not in others. Boston College. Oh, my friend. College. Pitt was in some, not in others. Pitt and Syracuse kind of alternated. Pitt was in one scenario and Syracuse was in the other. So it's either or however you want to do the situation here. If you run through, somebody's talking on the CV. If you run through all the members there, they're all autonomous schools. Who is worth more money? 8 to 9, 10 members of the ACC, or Oregon State and Washington State in the Mountain West? Who's worth more money? Who's worth more? The ACC is worth more. The ACC be worth more than the American. So come on. They're going to be worth, I mean, the fact that they said the top 8 schools left and I brought on there were the top 8 or 9, they'd have roughly, they'd lose 60% of the viewing audience in the top 8 schools. So they only have 40% left. And people have said in the ACC, I've heard them, well, if our conference was at open value, we'd be getting 50 to 55 million a year. Okay, let's say you're getting 55 million a year. But you only have 40% of the value. 40% of 55 million is $22 million. 15 to 25 million is what I figure what they're going to make. So 15 to 25 million for the ACC schools. Do you really think that a group of 5 schools with Oregon State and Washington State is going to get 15, let alone the 25? No, they're not. I've heard people saying, oh, we can get Oregon State and Washington State and all this other stuff in here and get all these schools from the AC. No. This is obviously from a fan of the American thinking that they can become the best G5. Even some have said the fact they should be the new autonomous conference. That's the other thing. You have 8 members. You're still an autonomous conference. You'd be the 4th best, but you'd still have a vote. And there's the thing I'm talking about with Notre Dame. Why would they leave? Yes, they have the affiliated agreement. They don't want anything to do with the Big Ten. Bad blood's still there. All the scandals are still there. They don't want to be associated with that. But they want access to the playoff and a chance to play for the national championship. So here's my honest question. The top 8 schools left, the ACC league. Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, NC State, Louisville, Miami. Pick your other 2. What would be easier to win a conference championship in? The Big Ten or a weakened ACC? And they're talking about the ACC, if they get stripped down, maybe only going from 2 auto invites, and some people say just 1. They may only get 1 auto invite. Big 12 may get 2. If they do a 16-team playoff. I haven't discussed the playoff because that thing is a whole mess. But everybody says Notre Dame has to join the Big Ten. They have to. No, you want them to. They don't have to do anything. They realistically have 2 options. 1, stay independent and stay doing what they're doing. Or 2, join the ACC if they want to. Because if they don't get in the playoff as one of the at-larges, and you have an ACC, and you have an ACC they have an auto berth, they're pretty much in every year. So you'd have a conference you could run your way, do things your way. You get more money from the ACC than you currently get, or keep the same amount of money, however that works. Keep doing the same amount of money you're doing now. With the agreement, bring them in because they're going to boost up a deal. And the fact is that 15 to 25 million is for the autonomous schools that are there, not counting Notre Dame going in. Notre Dame would definitely be on the 25 end. Now, as we're saying, American schools are going to convince the ACC schools to dissolve. You're making 25 million, your Americans making 7. Where are you going? South Florida, Memphis, Tulane, UTSA, whoever. They're jumping to go in the ACC if they get a call. Oregon State, Washington State, and UConn, if they get an invite, will be gone yesterday. Because that conference would make a lot more money. For UConn, my apologies. For Notre Dame, it makes the absolute most sense to do two things. Stay as an independent, or if you have to join a conference, join the ACC. Because if the ACC stays autonomous and stays have that vote, therefore getting an auto invite a consideration in the playoff. Notre Dame comes in and has an ACC schedule, the same as they had before. Play power non-cons, do all that stuff. That's what happens. They're going to be a contender to get a spot in the college football playoff as a conference champion. Because realistically, who would beat them? It takes some work for someone to develop and to be the one that can beat them consistently. So, with that being said, it makes no sense to go to the Big Ten. None. Because winning the ACC would be a hell of a lot easier than beating Michigan and Ohio State, wouldn't it? Those who want the Big Ten, want Notre Dame to get the Big Ten, want Notre Dame to be humbled, and want more money. End of story. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I actually try to bring some logic into this and not think as a fan. And since Notre Dame wants to protect Notre Dame, if ACC stays autonomous, if they have to join a conference, ACC makes the most sense. The Big Ten makes no sense. You have the problems in the past, you got scandals that are ongoing, and you may not get a shot in the college football playoff. You go to the ACC and they still have their spot, you have a damn good shot of making the playoff, which is what they value. So, I've said that Notre Dame to the Big just does not make any sense. And I don't know where it's people are coming from. So a lot of people are thinking about it and wishing for it, saying, I want this to happen. Yeah, you do. You, as a fan, want Notre Dame in the Big Ten because a lot of these, I noticed, are Big Ten fans at various universities. They want the Big Ten to be better than the SEC. Fine, make more money. Who cares? Problem is, they're not joining you. Not right now. They got the new deal with NBC. They sure as hell don't need your money. The only way that this would work is if they were getting beaten a lot by SEC schools. But since they don't schedule SEC schools, that doesn't really happen. They'd have to be in a 12-team playoff. And we're going to find out how that goes a little less than a year from now. So, we'll see about that. But I want you to let me know what you think about this down in the comments. So thanks, everybody, for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think Notre Dame with the Big Ten is a realistic chance? Because I don't think they're going to do it. Because of scandals, because of money, because they signed the deal with NBC, because the ACC would be easier path to the playoff. I don't think they're going to go to the Big Ten. It makes no sense. So, you let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm right, I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments, one or the other. Share the video if you want to. And if you haven't done it already, you know, if you're done checking this video out, check out some of the other ones I've done. And if you like it, hey, subscribe to the channel. Just past 500 subscribers, on the way to 600. Trying to get all little steps, little baby steps, eventually to 1K. So that's the way it goes. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Those asking where I'm at, I am on the just north of Cincinnati, Ohio, a little bit south of Dayton. On my way back up to Ypsilanti, Michigan, again for the second week in a row. This is not a scheduled route. It's just the guy who normally does this is on vacation. So I'm kind of not really filling in for his route. There's a bunch of drivers doing it. But, yeah, I'm doing the opening leg again. So that's how that goes. So thanks everybody for watching. If you want to follow me on X, the link will be down in the description. Follow me on Twitter. Hopefully that's going to get resolved. Hopefully they're talking about the fact that maybe it may go back to Twitter because of the X ownership issue. We'll see how that goes. So, again, thanks everybody for watching and listening to me rant. Be safe out there. State troopers are on the interstates here in Tennessee, Kentucky, and now Ohio. Center median, where there's an access point, checking for speeders. So, also the same thing on U.S. highways. So be careful, be safe, and please be good to each other.